the BG Podcast Network studios, brought to you by Chattahoochee Tech, this is your Paulding County News Podcast, bringing our stories to life with news, events, and what we're talking about in Paulding County. Like, follow, and subscribe to hear the latest news from the Paulding County News Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And here's what you're talking about.
Welcome to your Paulding County News Podcast. I'm Melissa Carter, along with Doug Harding. Are you a thrifter? We're going to talk about the best places to go in Paulding coming up. Plus, if you're a Jeep owner, we have a serious recall to tell you about. But first, let's take a look at our top stories. A Paulding County mother accused of stabbing 3 of her children to death and attempting to harm 4 others in a horrific incident back in 2022 has accepted a plea deal. Darlene Brister has been sentenced to 3 consecutive life terms for the tragic deaths of her children aged 5 months, 3 years, and 5 years. Paulding County District Attorney Matthew Rollins had initially sought the death penalty against Brister. This from WSB.
The Paulding County community mourned the life of a cherished deputy last week. 43-year-old Deputy Alan Rakestraw tragically passed away at his home after suffering a medical emergency. His funeral was held Wednesday at the New Season Church in Hiram. Deputy Rakestraw was an 8th-generation Paulding County resident and had harbored a lifelong aspiration of becoming a deputy sheriff. With nearly 14 years of service, Rakestraw had become an integral part of the sheriff's office, contributing notably to the Uniform Patrol Division and managing law enforcement communications. This from Atlanta News First.
Congratulations to Paulding County, where 4 high schools have been named State AP Honor Schools for 2024. They are East Paulding High School, Hiram High School, North Paulding High School, and Paulding County High School. The State AP Honor Schools designation reflects the district's emphasis on advanced placement programs and the success of its students in mastering rigorous coursework. This from What's Happening in Paulding County.
And here's your weather, courtesy of Angie Chavez Realty. We get a brief break in the rain today. Highs of 55 and 54 in Dallas and Hiram, respectively. Lows near 40. Rain will continue tomorrow. High in Dallas of 47 and 46 in Hiram. We'll have lows then again in the mid-40s. More rain on Tuesday. Geez, and highs in the mid-60s. So we get a little warmer, but a little wetter, too.
You know, rain is fine, but it's like the dreary type, right? So it's just kind of a little cold, a little dreary, but we'll get through it. So we have to open this door, Doug, to get to spring. We keep talking about spring every episode. It's like, well, it's coming. It's coming. But you know what's coming sooner than spring, Doug?
What?
Just reminding people that a week from today is daylight savings time returns.
Oh, that's right. I always like that.
So the fact that the sun will go down later in the evening will make us all happy after this rain. It's like a week of rain.
98.7 Chat Tech, where 98.7% of our students earn a career.
So for each of our programs at Chattahoochee Tech, we have an industry advisory committee. Those are people in each given industry that will employ our graduates when they get finished with our program.
We have students that are placed at manufacturing companies such as, let's say Glock, for example, the gun manufacturer, because they have machinery that's running 24/7 to create the guns. So all the way from that to healthcare, where like hospitals, for example, they're running 24/7 and they have machinery that needs to be running 24/7 as well.
My program is specifically for students who want to be in healthcare, but maybe don't want patient contact. Maybe they want to be in healthcare, in a healthcare field that's recession-proof and they're helping people, but maybe they don't want blood, body fluids, any of those elements in their life. So they may choose healthcare management to be on the opposite side of the patient care.
Visit chattahoocheetech.edu, where 98.7% of our students earn a career.
We're back with more of your Paulding County News Podcast.
From 11 Alive's Facebook page, a Georgia mother faces charges after a viral video showed her 12-year-old son riding in the trunk of a car. I'm laughing because I saw the video and I had to watch it 3 or 4 times. I don't know if you saw this video, but well, the 36-year-old woman was charged with reckless conduct and seatbelt violation following this incident. The video, which spread quickly through social media, captured the boy peeking out of the trunk as the car drove through the area. Now, basically, I think what happened was that her back seats were folded down for something to fit in it. and he was going between, he was kind of laying between the back seat and the trunk. But somebody driving nearby captured him peeking out the open trunk out at the road. And I was like, what did I just see? Yes, it was a kid. So Kara Wise said, I never rode in the trunk as a child, but had plenty of rides in the back of a pickup truck. I lived to tell it, LOL. Jeff Biddle said, that's the way I delivered newspapers sometimes in the 60s. I don't think we have a lot of people offended by this. Jason Wyatt said, wow, y'all don't even want to hear all the ways I rode growing up. This is nothing.
Do you know something? I've always been taught that if you get kidnapped and thrown in the trunk of a car, like that's what it seemed like at first here in this story. But if you're in the trunk and you can't open it, you just start punching out the rear view or the rear lights. And so you can stick your hand out and people will be like, hey, there's a hand sticking out of that car. Better call the cops.
Interesting. You know, honestly, I wasn't one of the kids who hid in the trunk to go to the drive-in theaters to save a ticket, price. But I know people that did that when I was little. I don't know if I've spent any time in a trunk, to be honest with you. But if I do, I know I can knock out the tail light.
Well, tell you what, Melissa, you and I'll get together and I'll take you for a ride in the trunk of my car.
Yeah, okay, moving on. From the What's Happening in Paulding Facebook page, Ashley Tillett wants to know, where are the best thrift stores in Paulding? Now, Doug, I don't know if you're a thrifter.
Can I tell you something real quick?
Please do.
I actually went to a thrift store yesterday.
I
really did. There's one right next door. And I just went to look around. I thought maybe I can find some good pots and pans, but no, I didn't. But it was, a lot of people are in there though.
I have gone to many a thrift store looking for different things. I have someone I know that has actually, here's a little trick for those golfers, that she went into thrift stores looking for Masters shirts that, believe it or not, people who had gone to the Masters turned in, because if you don't know, Masters attire can only be purchased at the Masters. And she found several shirts in the thrift store.
Wow.
So there's your tip.
Smart.
All right. So speaking of, though, Ashley, we're going to help you out. Kathy Austin says not many of them are too thrifty anymore. Victory is one of the better ones around here. Wendy LaCroix says the thrift store in Paulding Plaza in St. Vincent de Paul are my favorites. Wendy Mullins, Victory Thrift Baptist Church in Dallas, close to Ingalls. Great cause also. And then Tammy Carroll says Lula Beans in Dallas. So
there's a lot of thrift stores in Paulding County.
Yes. More thrift stores or more car washes? I don't know.
You beat me to it. I was just going to say that, Melissa.
Paulding's getting a reputation now for all the car washes. This is your weird story of the day. Speaking of thrift stores, there was one in Florida that received an unexpected and potentially dangerous donation when a World War II era grenade was found among the items that were dropped off.
Nice.
Come on. The discovery prompted evacuations and a response from the local bomb squad. Authorities also evacuated nearby buildings and homes as a precaution. Officials officially found that the grenade was a decommissioned Mills bomb. I'm not familiar with artillery and with all kinds of weapons, but apparently a Mills bomb that's been decommissioned is no longer explosive, so there was no danger. This from Fox News.
Good.
What's happening in Paulding County? We've got you covered.
All right, here's some events to get you out of the house. On March the 4th from noon until 5, the City of Hiram Community Blood Drive at the Events Place in Hiram. March 5th, beginning at 7 p.m., Interstate Poker Night at the Box Sports Bar and Grill in Dallas. And finally, April 24th, starting at 9 a.m., Paulding Cops for Kids annual golf tournament at Creekside Golf and Country Club. That, too, is in Hiram.
So if you're going to go again to that Hiram Golf Club for the tournament, go to the thrift store, get your Masters gear, and then go. See, it's all, Doug, it's all connected.
Wow. This is quite the podcast we got going here.
And then I was thinking about the bomb at the thrift store. I want to know the story of how it got there, because is that somebody who's mad at her husband for even having it, or they got a divorce and she was getting... Anyway, I'm going back too far, but I'm just... The whole thing, all the stories are interesting today.
Angie Chavez is an experienced real estate agent serving Paulding, Cobb, and other counties in Georgia for 24 years. She is dedicated to serving her clients and has extensive knowledge of the West Georgia real estate market. Angie has won numerous awards for her sales production and is a $1 million member of the National Board of Realtors. She specializes in new home construction and is an accredited buyer agent. Angie is also passionate about giving back and supporting military, veterans, teachers, and public servants. Whether buying or selling, Angie Chavez with Atlanta Communities is the right choice. Call her today at 404-401-0739 or visit her website at angiechavez.atlcommunities.com. Hey, unlike others, Angie will call you back if you don't reach her the first time. That's 404-401-0739.
Life's a constant hustle. And at Credit Union of Georgia, our focus is crystal clear. It's all about you. Juggling a million things? We get it. That's why we're committed to providing the best service imaginable. We're not just your credit union. We're your financial allies. Knowledge is our power. From crafting basic budget plans to navigating the local home buying scene. Questions popping up? We've got you covered with fast, friendly answers. Because we want you to spend more time living your life. Imagine a financial institution that truly cares. That's Credit Union of Georgia inviting you to join us. If you live, work in Bartow, Cherokee, Cobb, Dawson, Paulding, Pickens, or Union County, we want you as a member of Credit Union of Georgia family. Because here, you're not just a member, you're part of a community that cares. Ready to experience banking that revolves around you? Call us at 678-486-1111 or visit cuofga.org. Credit Union of Georgia. Your financial journey, our priority.
We're back with more of your Paulding County News podcast.
The tragic death of 19-year-old Asia Hart caught in the crossfire of a shooting near a racetrack gas station near Georgia State University last October has prompted her family to take legal action. They plan to file a lawsuit against the gas station and others, including the Mix apartment complex nearby. Hart was one of 4 innocent victims caught in the gunfire, and her family alleges that the Atlanta 911 call center failed to respond to multiple calls for help, delaying medical attention crucial for her survival. The lawsuit will argue that both Racetrack and the Mix were negligent in providing adequate security despite a history of violence in that area. Hart leaves behind a 1-year-old daughter. This from WSB.
And here's your sports from New Season Church from the Paulding County Sports Chronicle. In basketball, in the girls' state quarterfinals, it was North Paulding over Buford, 74-69. Way to go, North Paulding. And in baseball, the winners this week include East Paulding, Paulding County, South Paulding, North Paulding. And in soccer for the boys, South Paulding beat Villa Rica, but it was a tie between Adairsville and Hiram, as well as between East Paulding and Bremen. Paulding County girls won this week, but South Paulding, East Paulding, and Hiram girls, they came up short. In lacrosse, on the boys' side, North Paulding beat Woodstock 14-4. On the girls' side, East Paulding, they lost to Dalton 15-6.
And finally, attention Paulding Jeep Grand Cherokee owners. A significant recall has been issued due to a critical safety concern. Now, the recall affects certain 2021 to 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee L and 22 to 23 Jeep Grand Cherokee models. The recall addresses a potential ball joint issue in the upper control arm and steering knuckle. Sounds like a body part in a human, which could lead to the loss of the vehicle control, though, and pose a serious safety risk to drivers. Now, no injuries or accidents have been reported thus far. Dealers are providing free replacements. Owners can anticipate receiving notification letters by April 12th. But the reason we love to do these stories is because, like, if you're sitting here and it's early March and you know, that's a month and a half away. So if you have one of these vehicles, then go ahead and contact your dealer and see if you can't get that replaced.
Hey, thanks for that.
And we will have final thoughts after this.
Whether you're new to church, have been a Christian for many years, or looking for a fresh start, you're welcome at New Season Church. New Season is a place where people can believe in God, belong to a family of believers, and become fully devoted followers. We exist so that people far from God may experience life in Christ and become fully engaged followers. Join us for one of our 2 Sunday services, 9 or 11 a.m.
Hi, this is Pastor Steve Flockhart. Whether you're new to the Paulding community or have been here since the day you were born, New Season Church is a place where all are welcome. From our exciting children and student ministries to our engaging Bible studies and small groups and events, I promise New Season Church has a place for you.
New Season Church, just off Highway 278 at 4457 Atlanta Highway in Hiram. We exist so that people far from God may experience life in Christ and become fully engaged followers. New Season looks forward to seeing your entire family this Sunday, and feel free to check us out online at newseason.cc. We believe what comes into our minds when we think about God is the most important thing about us. We look forward to seeing you Sunday at 9 or 11 a.m. at New Season Church in Hiram. Thanks for listening to today's Paulding County News Podcast. Follow and subscribe to hear the latest news from the Paulding County News Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. For you, about you, and from you. Get involved in the conversation at 404-997-8655 or info@bgadgroup.com. Did you know over 50% of Americans listen to podcasts weekly? Make sure you join us for our next episode, and be sure to share this podcast on social media with your friends and family. Add us to your Alexa Flash Briefing or your Google Home Briefing, and be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
This podcast is a production of BG Ad Group. All rights reserved.
This podcast aggregate content from other sources for informational purposes and is in no way trying to infringe on the copyrights or businesses of any other entities. All content posted up on the site is used under the Fair Use Copyright Law 107. All audio, media, and articles are copyrighted to the original owners. All audio on this podcast are embedded from YouTube.com and are owned by their respective copyright owners. No audio information are copyrighted or stored on our servers. The court ruled that linking or embedding copyrighted videos is not copyright infringement, even if the source video was uploaded without permission. However, we will gladly remove any audio clip upon valid request from respective copyright owners. Any owners also have the option to disable embedding his YouTube videos on other websites. News and press articles are owned by the respective copyright owners. Where possible, the appropriate accreditation or source of the article is given on the same page. The audio-video files on the site are for listening purposes only. Downloading of these files to one's computer is strictly prohibited. They are owned by the respective copyright owners. If it is in the organization's belief that the usage or specific content used on our site containing copyrighted knowledge conflicts with authorized use and/or does not comply with fair use as described in the context, contact us through our contact page and we will remove the offending content immediately. Thanks for listening to the Paulding County News Podcast.